So, welcome to Drokes Notes Brew Review. I'm Steve.
I'm Mike.
And tonight we are going to do a review of Laphroaig 10. It is a single malt scotch. It's an Islay scotch. So it's going to be kind of smoky. That's kind of the tradition for the Islay scotches. So this is 43% alcohol by volume. So that's 86% or 86 proof. It's a 10-year single malt scotch, and we're going to do this two ways. So we're going to do it neat, and then we're going to drop an ice cube in it, and then do it that way. Then we're going to tell you what we think of it, both neat and with some ice in it, and give us our give you our overall thoughts. So you ready for this?
Yeah.
Any thoughts before we go into it?
I'm scared. Full disclosure, Steve loves the smoky wildfire brewed, 10,000 acres. Let me walk through the field and smell that smoked scotch. That is not particularly my cup of tea, so we're going to see how this one goes.
Yeah, this one's going to be interesting. Because I do like to smoke, but there are some things that are real smoky or too smoky. And and actually, I've already tried this before, so I know what I'm about to get into. And right off the bat, there's the campfire.
As I've joked before in other scotch reviews, hey Shelly, can you do me a favor? Grab a piece of wood out of the fireplace and bring it over here and dip it in my scotch for a second, and let me eat the wood, and that's my scotch for the night. Whoa!
So I do get some smoke, some sea salt, and that's kind of the overbearing sensation on the nose.
Yeah, definitely.
But
a lot of heat. You can tell there's definitely a lot of smoke, a lot of spice. There's not a lot of sweetness to this one. The sea salt, that was one I hadn't thought of before.
Yeah, I get a little bit of that. But it's pleasant. It's not. So the first time.
This makes me want a cigar.
Yeah, and it's actually.
This makes me want a cigar.
That's
really
what I said.
right
The first time I opened this up and smelled it, I'm like, this is a cigar scotch.
Mm-hmm. Well, cheers.
So right off the bat, I'll tell you what I get. I get the smoke and I get the spice, and that's kind of the two. That's kind of the two things I get. I get the smoke and I get a little bit of spice on the end. But the thing I like, I get the little spice kind of lingers. The smoke is still kind of there, but it doesn't stay.
Hang on.
But it is.
Get the wood out of my mouth. It's burnt. Oh.
So I'm going to tell you, this is not an entry-level scotch.
No.
But it's good.
All right. Yeah, I know I'm being kind of a jackass on the review and being over the top, but definitely a lot of smoke.
Yeah, it's there.
But it's more of a real dark, earthy, kind of a burnt wood. With that, the funny thing is it actually brings out some highlights of the pepper and the spice. The thing I'm not liking about it, though, is as I'm sitting here talking with you, I felt like if I went and kissed my wife, she would think I was smoking a cigarette all night. Yeah. Seriously, if you ever smoke a cigarette, it could be a couple of hours away. Here, come here. Does it smell like I've been smoking?
No.
No? Okay. If you've had a couple of cigarettes and you go kiss somebody later on, they're like, oh, you've had a cigarette. That's what I feel like it's in my mouth right now. You have a lot of that residual smoke.
But you still get that spice that comes through it.
Yeah, this would not be something I would drink by itself. I would have to either be eating something or a cigar to kind of take the smoke of the cigar and complement it with this. So it gave me a reason to have this taste.
Well, since you said that, here in Texas, I think this is a very good brisket scotch.
Yes, some brisket tacos.
Something that you and I'm usually not a big fan of smoked brisket and stuff like that. My Memphis root comes out. I kind of like the pulled pork and stuff like that. But this, I think you'd want this with something that some brisket that's been smoked. in that type of food. A good steak.
And not just, pan fried steak. You want something that's been on the grill.
Yeah.
Put some hickory, put some mesquite, throw some wood on it.
And it.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is really. Definitely the smoke from the smoke is really rich. I mean, it's rich. You get it. So we'll put a little. So put some ice in it. Kind of let it mellow out just a little bit and see what we get from it.
Laphroaig.
Yeah, Laphroaig 10. And there's other Laphroaigs too, but this is kind of the.
It literally says you want to drink it neat or with a little cool water. So it tells you, you may have to mellow this one out a little bit. So.
And usually with our whiskeys or bourbons, we're going to do a third way. We're going to put something in it. But I'm not.
You have so much smoke in this. We're not even going to try it with our mix, the ginger ale. You're going to have this huge battle of sweet smoke, and it's just going to taste like garbage.
And we usually do some research to find out what you can put in there, but very little. And this one, we're like, nah, we're not even going to look. So there may be some mixes you can do with it, but.
Now, typically, if you've ever watched any of ours before, Steve prefers his neat. I prefer mine with an ice cube.
Yeah.
And until recently, we actually flip-flopped on our review.
Yeah.
When Johnny Walker Blue, we actually flip-flopped on that one.
I wanted some ice in it.
I actually preferred mine a little bit more on the neat side. So,
which was weird on that one.
Now, with this being so smoky, what I'm hoping for is that I can still pull that spice, still pull that earthy, oaky. All I'm looking for is just hopefully mellow out that smoke on the palate just a smidge, so that it's not quite so overpowering. So.
It's kind of weird because we put that ice in it, and I get a little bit of hints of a little bit of fruity.
See, I'm getting more of the cinnamon in there, that spice cinnamon, that's sweeter.
Yeah, that might be it. That's coming through over the smoke. I still get the smoke. The smoke is there.
All right. That tastes like a completely different scotch.
You can still get that smoke hit. It's there. I mean, the smoke is not going away.
Actually, it leveled out quite a bit. If I was to say on the first drink a level 10, about a 6.5 right now. I mean, it's still there, but now I can actually taste a couple hints and notes of vanilla, a couple hints and notes of some cinnamon spice.
I definitely get the spice coming through that.
Some of the oak earthy, but it's just not so overpowering on the smoke end of it.
And to me, my brain keeps wanting to say like a citrusy fruit, but I mean, I'm thinking it might be the cinnamon instead of that.
Yeah, I'm not picking up any citrus.
And it might be one of those things where your brain's saying one thing, but it's because you don't have you don't have nothing to compare it against. I do.
Now, definitely I want a cigar.
Yeah.
That brings it down just enough to where now I'm actually thinking about dipping the cigar.
Yeah, the ice definitely tones down that smoke. Makes it if you're not a big fan of the smoke, the ice tones it down to where it's more pleasant to try for those that don't like the smoke.
And plus it just kind of cooled it down just a little bit because
drinking
it neat, it was a very, like you said, if I'm eating some brisket, I'll drink it neat because it's just there. It's just like rah. But if I'm just sitting here having a scotch and wanting to relax, it just calms everything down to where it's like, okay, this is just relaxing now.
Yeah. So you ready to do ratings and recommends?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll go first on the neat. I give it a 7 on the neat. The reason I go 7 is so for this, I think it's about $50 to $60 for this. So price wise, it's not too bad for a scotch or an outlaw scotch, kind of entry level if you want to try the smoky side of it. But yeah, I'll stick with a 7 on that. The smoke is maybe a little too much with the neat, but it's still bearable. I'll go with 7.
Neat, I'm gonna go with a 5, and I'm not saying it's a horrible scotch. I don't want somebody who's ever drank scotches before and go, "Oh my God, he's rated a 5. How dare he?" It's just the smoke is just on my cup of tea, and
it's what you like.
If you are wanting something that's a little bit sweeter on the tones, more of a sherry oak finish,
Yeah,
you
this
know,
ain't it.
this ain't it at all. This is
No.
completely the opposite realm.
Yeah.
This is actually, to be honest with you, not as bad as I was thinking it was going to be when Steve, told me about the smoke. But I was not joking when I told you guys that the very first drink, it was like I bit into a piece of burnt wood. That's how much smoke is in this thing.
The smoke comes up and kicks you in the balls.
Yeah, it definitely lets you know it's there. Now,
it says this is I'm here.
so I'm gonna go 5. Now, here's a kind of a thing. The ice cube in it, I'm gonna bring it up to 7.5. And the reason is because it does mellow out the tones of the smoke and allows all the other flavors of the Scotch to come through. You get that little spice of cinnamon, and you feel the vanilla notes in there. You get the earthy of the oak and the wood, and it's actually a very pleasant. I can't say I wouldn't go out and buy this bottle and put it in my cabinet as long as I knew what I was expecting when I was drinking it. That was definitely going to have to put an ice cube in it.
I think this is kind of one of those
A rare treat type.
special mood.
I'm doing something different
What's
tonight.
going
I want
on
something
type of
that's,
thing.
yeah.
This is not an everyday drinker to me. So that's kind of rate that. And when I go with the ice cube, I'm gonna stay with like a 7 because I like them both kind of equal. The ice cube did some different things to it. It brought out some different notes. But it was kind of like two things that I like kind of equal. So I'm gonna stick with a 7 on it. I definitely don't think this is not a daily drinker to me. I like it, but there's no way I could drink this every day.
Hey, Steve, I got this great Scotch. You gotta check this thing out. You just want to see their toes curl for a second, have a little bit of fun.
But I do recommend it.
Something different. Hey, I've been drinking all this, sweeter Scotches. I want something that's gonna change the palate a little bit. It's one of those. If you're gonna have multiple Scotches, definitely have it for a change of pace.
Yeah.
So
If you do like Scotch and you want to get into some of the smokier ones, this is not bad. Try this one.
I would take this over Ardbeg.
We have to do a blind taste test on that. because
Yeah.
I don't know if you
And I don't know, maybe just because the Ardbeg was my very first super smoky Scotch that I've ever done, and it's just a horrible review. Maybe we should do
Yeah,
a
we'll do a blind
head-to-head,
taste
a
test
blind,
on those.
and then that way we can figure out which one that we like. So
And the one I think that we're gonna one of them I definitely want to get and try is Lagavulin. The Lagavulin 16.
sure, I'll let you say that because I'm not going to be able to.
Because Ron Swanson is my hero. It's smoky too, but I don't know if it's smoky as this.
Is that like Ron Jeremy or anything? Or
So I'm going to recommend this one. I give a thumbs up. If you want if you want to get into the Islay of Scotland
1.5.
smoky blends, I recommend trying it. The price range is right there for you, and it's not. Yeah, it's smoky.
Yeah, I'm still feeling like I had a stereo.
But if you want to try smoky, this is
If
it.
that's your cup of tea,
Yeah.
that's definitely there.
So then you know if you like it or not. If you like it, then you can go the other way and try to get more smoky. If you don't, then stay down in the.
So do us a favor. Go out and get yourself a bottle. Try it. Put comments on there. Maybe post a video. Tell us what you thought of it, what your takeaways were from it, and if you liked it better, neat. And we love other reviews to come back on our reviews. That way we can learn different ways to try Scotch and pull out different flavors. So
Yep. Give us a like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell so you get notified. For Jokes, Notes, and Reviews, I'm Steve.
I'm Mike.
Peace out.
So.